The latest. Thank you for love and support. I appreciate you all. Captain Ibrahim Traore's ideology is spreading. Now it's touching all the African leaders. So. Even those who are eating democracy are now voicing out. They can no longer hide. They have to say the truth. There's a place called Ghana. One politician came out and said that what Captain Ibrahim Traore is doing, even though he referred to him as the boy, which we know he's not a boy, he's a president. They don't want to accept the fact that Captain Ibrahim Traore is the president of Burkina Faso because their masters are calling them juntas. So when they want to address them in the right way, they'll have problem. They are thinking about their visas and their assets. That is the problem with the African. If it is these people, they will praise and hail them. Look at all the atrocities that their forefathers committed against the black person. Yet they name them Saint Peter, Saint Paul. But our African leaders who saved us, none of them is a saint. This is what is happening. That they cannot keep quiet and say that what Captain Ibrahim Traore, all the savior is doing, is not right. That they have to swallow their pride and shame and admit that the man is doing amazing things in Burkina Faso. The king of Africa, the savior of Africa, is doing amazing things. Now they have to start speaking the truth. It's not that these are leaders don't know what they are supposed to do. They don't know the truth. They know. These are the same people who are in ECOWAS, forcing them to come back to the ECOWAS bloc. When Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso were led by democratic elected, what you are seeing in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, were you seeing that? Why won't you admit the fact that democracy is a system that has failed the African? Democracy is benefiting Jolo Popo and not the African.
Look at what the boy is doing in Burkina Faso.
He's not a boy. He's a president. He's
a president. The boy president.
I think you are switching places this time around. Because mostly it will come from and you complain. He's the president. But this time around, you've wrong right. When you meet him, you say, Mr. President. You don't say the boy.
I am using that to show that even at that age, look at what he's doing to his country. And so you stop. You are the one who is always looking down upon Akable. So
I'm not looking down on him. You're putting him in his right position.
Now, the things doing there, aren't we happy that this is happening next door and that we can pick one or two things
even Benin,
to do
even
it?
the Benin president.
So for the people who are just picking out of no reference to anything, should stop. Ignorance. People, I must use that word now, should say that what President Mahama is doing is right. What is right, for now.
Yes.
And we should commend him for that.
It's right.
All right. I mean, it's taking a bit of time to infuse the same level of agility in other areas, but we will get there. We will get there. And I see people making uncanny comparisons with Paul Kagame, my good friend Ibrahim Traore. And I say, some of these folks are operating in a slightly different environment, where their word is obeyed instantly, without question. It's a different environment. You say, this guy is not doing things. Traore is doing them. Traore wakes up, dreams them up. Following morning, he makes a pronouncement. It is law. It is policy. Action follows. And I wake up and I say stuff, they look at me and say, what is this? What is this man talking about? We need to take it through this stage and that stage and put it to tender, float the tender. It takes 2 years, then we evaluate, then there are complaints, and there's an interdict. We wait another 4 years. By that time, you have to go and account to the people, and they remove you. Those who came before me did not fail because they didn't have ideas. They did. maybe even better ideas. They just didn't implement them. Why? Because perhaps they failed to appreciate that the structures that are in place are not properly suited to the attainment of quick action. So you need to subvert some of these rules and processes unapologetically. And I will do it. Let me tell you here and now. I will.
You see, Traore has become a hero to Professor. I and him will drink coffee about Traore. But he's doing two good things, that he becomes an international icon. A young guy, younger than many of us. Traore has changed the price of uranium. France was buying uranium from Burkina Faso for $1 billion every year. He stopped the French to buy his uranium. Today, Burkina Faso is making 85 billion from the same resource. We are selling uranium here. We have no nuclear power. We are just talking, everything is nuclear. We are just selling. Whether the Chinese are paying us the best price or not, we don't know. We are also afraid. What if they walk out of this deal? But Traore, a young man, a soldier, has changed his country. That's why Traore is now building up factories, processing plants of agro-processing, because he has resources. We have these resources. When we say some of these things must not be said in the open, but let's drink coffee and talk about the future of our country, we don't listen to one another. So, Foreign Minister, may your door be open for further engagement, deeper engagement in the national interest of our country, so that we start running, because we are crawling. We must start running. And this country has an opportunity to penetrate Africa, to penetrate the world, but we must run and we must talk to one another so that we get the country going. Thank you.
And before we can see a different Africa, we should see a revolution to do away with that system. Captain Ibrahim Traore told us that he's not in power because he wants power, but because he wants a change. And we are seeing that change. Unlike you see these ones, NDC MPP, they'll just come and sit there and talk plenty, and that ends it. When they finish their 4 years and you ask them, they'll tell you they were all political talk. They know everything that they are supposed to do when they are in opposition. But when you finally give them the mandate, nothing. What can you use to compare to what Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have achieved within 2 years? Some of them are not even up to 2 years. But look at the achievements. They've changed everything in their respective countries. Yet we are sitting here and all we talk about is election, how we are winning the next elections. And after that, nothing. Ghana will continue to be where it is. They will keep on talking. They know what they are supposed to do, but they will only do that when they are in opposition. You've elected presidents upon presidents. For over how many years, we've not seen an issue. Africa don't need a century to change, because Captain Ibrahim Traore and Assimi Goïta Abdurrahman Tiani, our two generals, have made it clear to us that Africans, we don't need a century to change. If truly we want to change, we have everything that it takes to change the narrative in Africa. The leaders find comfort in the systems that the oppressor has created, and that is the reason to which they don't want to bring a change in Africa. They don't want the narrative to change, because none of them is willing to become a minister of agriculture, of information, of tourism. Everybody wants to be called a president. And that is the problem. And this is what the oppressor is capitalizing on to keep looting Africa. Because they've seen that the leaders that they've kept in place, they love power. So that unity we are calling for will never happen. China is led by one president. The United States of America is led by one president. India, the same thing. Why is it that Africa cannot do so? After he has finished talking on the TV show, you just go and sit there and that ends it. Give him the mandate, he will not do what he's saying. We love to see freedom. Africans love to be free. But we are not ready to put our selfish interests, like Paul Kagame will say, aside. Then we walk the talk of that freedom. And when those who have the courage to also do the walking, these ones will not sit down and be pulling them back. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have opened our eyes to see that we can do it, like Nkrumah said. Africans, we are capable of managing our own affairs. These people will finish using our leaders to loot the continent, and when they finish, they point fingers at them and call them corrupt leaders. But you see that our leaders can never voice out. If our leaders are corrupt, when they loot us, where did they send them? We have to move out of these people. And it will only come by educating ourselves. That was why Bob Marley said we must emancipate ourselves. The day we will regain our self-consciousness, that day Africa has won. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Ghana.